Welcome to the Must See WWE podcast on YouTube. Welcome to
Your Take Sucks, bitch.
Your Take Sucks. Tonight, what do we got in store for us? Jacob, what's happening?
Oh, man, we got a lot. Why don't we jump in to... Let's just do a recap of the last couple weeks of wrestling. Let's go over Money in the Bank and the last couple of Raws and SmackDown.
All right, I'm down with it. So we want to start out first. So what we need to do is let's go and start with Money in the Bank. Let's go through what happened at Money in the Bank, and then we're just gonna see how that transitions into the rest of the weeks, right?
Right. So I'll take lead on that one.
Right,
Shit pay-per-view. Shit pay-per-view. Okay, so so I've also seen a lot of controversy about this Money in the Bank pay-per-view. People saying it's crazy. People saying it sucks. I am in disagreement. There's pretty much everybody is saying that everything that has happened should not have happened. Pretty much, it was a waste of a cash in for Drew McIntyre. What else? It was. Hunter, what's your take on the Drew McIntyre cash in?
I think they could have furthered the story by. It's kind of a waste because now there's no men's Money in the Bank briefcase.
For a whole year.
I feel like you maybe could have progressed the storyline better if Punk had just interrupted and screwed him in the actual Money in the Bank match. Yeah. You maybe could have got more from it. Right. I think it's kind of hard to say that what they did progressed the storyline because I don't think it could progress it anymore unless one of them had the title. If one of them had the title, then like if they just let Drew McIntyre cash in and win, then at least the feud is worth more than what it already is, which is really next to nothing, but other than pride.
I'm having trouble remembering how the Punk and McIntyre feud started. I know originally it was Punk and Seth because of real life hatred between the two. How did McIntyre get drawn back into this?
So you remember back when?
Hold on. So if I'm not mistaken, McIntyre is the one that injured Punk, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the future shot, that's what tore his.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, that was the catalyst for Punk himself to actually bring it personal, make it personal, because Drew said he prayed for this and it happened. He prayed for this and it happened. Like you. But
I mean, the storyline didn't need the money. See, that's my problem with this is that the storyline did not need the Money in the Bank, just like it does not need a title. Yeah. They're two top name stars. They don't need either one of those things, which is why it feels like a waste of a briefcase when somebody could have easily, someone like Carmelo Hayes, or you could have put a Braun Breaker in there, somebody that could have held on to the title, held on to the briefcase close to a year or whatever to make it more meaningful and to give a rub to a younger talent. More so than Drew McIntyre to win it, cash in on a triple threat match instead of cashing in on an injured champion. And then, I mean, that's the only way that the storyline could have progressed in my eyes.
Okay.
Is if you're going to make it to that point. Otherwise, I thought the storyline was going fine the way it was.
So then that brings the question.
Zeus, sorry.
Oh, man.
Okay, so going back to your question of how it all started, one of Punk's main things for a long time with WWE was he always wanted to main event a WrestleMania. He never got that respect of main eventing a WrestleMania. And so when he got injured, that's where the I prayed for this came from. Like, I kind of it was Drew being a heel and
basically taking his spot.
Yeah, taking his spot.
Okay.
So then going to your point, Hunter, is like, again, like you said, they're star power. They don't need the title. They don't need it in the slightest bit. You've already had Punk cost Drew the title at Mania, which he had just won, 5 minutes before? 5 minutes, like 34 seconds, something like that before. Then he cost him in his homeland, screws him, low blows him, and is like, hey, here you are again losing because of me. So to your point, Hunter, is as well as to if you're going to cost them again, cost them in the Money in the Bank match. You don't need to have Drew win it and then literally that same night the Money in the Bank is wasted, and that's literally what the whole pay-per-view is Money in the Bank.
And I feel like it hurts Punk too because Punk's supposed to be a babyface, and Drew's supposed to be the heel, and you got your babyface that just keeps screwing over a heel, and
Well,
yeah.
to that point, Punk's supposed to be the babyface in the Drew feud, but then also he's the heel in the Seth feud. How?
Here's my view is I don't think either or any of them are going to be face and heels in any of it. I think they're all tweeners. I think they're pretty much like what Damian is right now and what Rhea was for a while. Like you want to cheer them, you want to boo them. Like it's really up to the crowd. Like
right, pretty much. Like so,
because they're making it personal.
So here's kind of how I see it. When it comes to top level stars like CM Punk, Drew himself, he is classified as a heel at this current moment. He is not a tweener. He is a straight up classified heel at this current moment. I would say CM Punk isn't a babyface or heel, like you said, tweener. When you get to a high level to where your character is your character, like CM Punk, Seth Rollins, their personality are hey, I'm gonna laugh in your face if you're mad at me. I don't care who you are. So they don't have to be considered a heel or a face. So when it comes to Drew McIntyre and Punk, that don't matter. It is hey, listen, we hate each other because we're fucking with each other. We are doing things that are personal and on a deep level to each other. And that's all that needs to happen. That's all that needs to be there for this match, for this feud, really.
Well, the one good thing I saw that did come from it was that, at the very least, Punk's interference also furthers the Rollins and Punk feud, or storyline, rather. That does gives that a little bit more.
Yeah, that is why I like.
You could have done that in a different way, also.
That's why I like the failed cash. That's why I like it. I love the failed cash. I think it was the smartest idea to do right now.
Well, so that's my thing is I don't have a problem with the failed cash in. I have a problem with the failed cash in 15 minutes after he won it.
Yeah.
Or however long it was.
I think that's
that's what I have a problem with.
I think that's perfect.
I think one of the best things about Money in the Bank, the briefcase in itself, is it's a story for however long the person holds it. Because you got to think, if we get a Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam for a title, that briefcase has got to be in the back of everybody's mind. You know what I'm saying? And I think wrestling or WWE has really depended on that to drive some stories in certain eras. And I feel like we're going to have to function without that now. And it's going to leave a little to be desired, if that makes sense.
I agree with that. I also have a question for y'all. Say the WWE already has plans in the title picture.
I do want to interrupt. Let's segue out of the men's Money in the Bank and move on to other matches. We're taking a little bit of time on that one. So
all right, cool. Then let this be the last question. If a year from now, it comes to find out that WWE had a plan for both of the world titles throughout the whole year, and that is why they made this happen, would y'all still agree that it was a bad decision for this quick cash in?
Yes, because and as recent as WrestleMania 40, WWE has a history of booking themselves into a corner, and if they do that until like with the World Heavyweight or the WWE Championship, that Money in the Bank briefcase could be a cop out for a bad booking decision. Like let's say they had continued with the Rock Roman thing. Rock beats Roman for the title. No one's happy. You can audible and throw that cash in there. Problem solved. So I think not having that briefcase as a backup plan, it could hurt it. Like I trust what Triple H is doing. I want to see where it goes, but I do think not having that in your back pocket is a major misstep.
Okay.
But let's move forward. What do y'all think about the women's Money in the Bank. Tiffany Time. Tiffany Time.
Best women's Money in the Bank.
Time, we
match.
love it.
I thought that was the best match on the card.
Oh, easily.
Agreed.
Easily.
Agreed.
I think those women went out there and they stole the fucking show.
I think you can make a strong argument for Chelsea Green had the performance of the night. Truthfully,
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Who was the
her,
MVP?
her
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Zoe
Uh,
Stark.
that spot that she took where she went flying into those tables was sick.
Mhm.
It was. And I love Chelsea Green, how she plays her character. I mean, you see,
She's a Karen, literally.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you see brilliance of her in-ring capabilities, and then you also see her almost like an R-Truth-ish character with some of her mannerisms.
She's comedic.
like
Yeah.
jumping for the briefcase at the beginning. Like, I think they're doing a great job with her character, but I do think the right person won that match.
Well, there was even like
Yeah.
afterwards, after Chelsea went through the tables, they have the whole press conference after the event, and then even after that, there's a video posted of Chelsea Green having a press conference of her own. But when it pans out to the crowd, she's talking to a room full of empty people.
Yes,
Like-
yeah. They were
Like,
playing
her
as the
character
CTE.
is crazy,
Yeah, man.
but
Does
But I saw reports that the higher ups in WWE really high
Yeah.
on her after that performance.
yeah,
good.
I
mean,
think
she
she's
does
definitely. I think she's definitely going to be a future women's world champion, whether that be WWE or world or the heavyweight, whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know that it's going to be anytime soon with Rhea coming back, but I think-
I don't either. Go ahead.
I'm
think
wondering
she
if we
stands a
can
good
guarantee
chance.
that Rhea gets it back.
I don't think Rhea gets it back off rip.
Yeah.
I think WWE's putting a lot of stock into the upcoming Bad Blood pay-per-view with them bringing that back.
Mm.
And I feel like you can tell that through the booking. I mean, you've got everything going on with the Bloodline that is personal. You've got the Drew Punk Seth situation, which is personal. Finn and Damian Priest, Rhea and Liv. Like, I feel like they're booking a lot for that pay-per-view. And I think that's where a lot of major shifts will happen.
well, that and the live storyline has been rather entertaining, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
100%.
I thought it was to me. It seems like something. If you remember years ago when they started doing that mixed match, the mixed match challenge, and you
Mhm.
remember you saw Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman, but it didn't really never take off. This time seems like they're kind of trying to recycle that, but this one time it's actually working.
Yeah. And I feel like the Alexa Bliss Braun Strowman thing not taking off had a lot to do with Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace, Bray.
Well,
but
that and there was no significant person to where that would get under the skin of someone else,
right.
like this situation.
I feel like they definitely squandered that. But everything they've done with Rhea and Dom and now Liv and Dom, I mean, it's been, like you said, entertaining as hell.
Mhm.
I personally see a double turn happening at SummerSlam. Like, of course, Rhea's the face in this
Oh, yeah,
situation.
100%.
Rhea is absolutely the baby face in that storyline.
Internally, she's now been listed as a face.
Yeah, and I don't think Liv is going to lose at SummerSlam. I think Liv will somehow
Dom.
win by, I don't know if it's Dom. I think it could be Finn. Because I think he's been working for Finn.
Before we get into that, though, we should definitely talk about Tiffany almost cashing in. Thinking about it, looking over at the ref, having the briefcase right there to the ref, and Nia Jax coming in saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" Yo. I was saying it when I was watching it. I said if Tiffany cashes in, when it is Nia Jax's turn for the title, it is a bad move. Nia Jax thinks of Tiffany as her toy, as her Barbie doll.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's gonna take for Nia to be like, "Oh, I just saw that.
I
You're
think
my toy. I can snap. You're a toy. I can discharge you anytime."
But okay, what I viewed that as is, does Nia not think that she could beat Tiffany, or is it more of a friendship thing?
It is not. It's not a friendship. She's her Barbie doll. Remember that. When you had toys as a kid, when they stopped working, when they no longer suited you, what did you do with them?
I mean, they just got left in the bag or wherever the
I
bin.
I mean, I body slammed that.
You discarded.
Can't say that. You can't say that.
You discarded them.
Here's my view on that. I think Nia wins at SummerSlam against Bailey, right? We're getting an immediate cash in.
Wouldn't that be the second time Niall's cashing in?
I think so.
That would be. You're right. Bailey
But-
said it in that promo. Bailey said it in the
Yeah.
promo. I think Bailey was the one that cashed in on Nia, if I'm not mistaken.
But no, Bailey cashed in on Charlotte.
No,
Sorry.
I think Alexa cashed in on
Yeah.
Nia.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know who. I didn't know
Alexa
who. I
cashed
wasn't watching
in
at the time.
Yeah. So I think Tiffany's walking out of SummerSlam champion. I think we're getting quite a few new champions at SummerSlam. Tiffany Stratton is walking out with the women's title. Gunther's walking out with the world title.
Yeah.
And Breaker, I swear to God, if he doesn't walk out with the IC title, I'm going to fight Triple H myself. Sammy Hogan can go to
yes,
fuck
let's
Canada.
transition to Sammy and Breaker.
Hogan.
You know,
Sammy Hogan.
You know, Chandler, that I love this decision of letting Sammy win because I called it.
Yeah, and that's what, and that right there,
I called
that
it
right
from
there
the
is why this
beginning.
fucking podcast is called Your Take Sucks.
I
because
loved it.
God damn it, Your Take Sucks.
From the beginning, I knew it was gonna happen. I called it. I was sitting. I said,
so fucking
Hey,
stupid.
we gotta let each other talk.
You're
Gotta
right.
let each other
You're
talk.
right. You're right. I'm getting heated.
I said from the beginning, y'all are underestimating Sam. Do y'all not realize who Sami Zayn is? Who Sami Zayn has fought for the last 3 years? Y'all are insane if y'all thinking Breaker's gonna get that dub that easily. Y'all, what? Yes, one haluva kick is all that's need. Braun Breaker thought he was so bad that Sami Zayn was an afterthought. That's what was happening. The whole world thought Sami Zayn was gonna lose, and everybody,
I'm burning my face right now, dog.
everybody was like, "Yo, Sammy's losing this." And then when Sammy won, they were like, "Why did Sammy lose?" Y'all was just cheering for Sammy. What is wrong with
Well,
you?
so then this Monday, so Adam Pearce has announced that this Monday it's an IC title match between Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov. So are we going to witness both of them die?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
is Braun
I
going to
think
come
so.
out and wreck shit?
I
Yes.
think so. I think so. 'Cause
Hunter,
Braun's gonna be
Hunter,
pissed.
let me hear from you on Sammy and Breaker.
I mean, I just feel like that should have never been a match to happen.
I'm with you on that. I think
Solely for the reason
Ooh.
that they've made Braun Breaker look like such a force. And then the first big time match he gets in, because he's squashed everybody. He ain't really fought anybody since he's been on the main card other than some scrubs, you know. And when you factor that in, this loss really hurts him. I don't have a problem with him losing to Sammy at some point, but you've built him up so quickly that you wasted the amount of momentum that you gave him over him losing the IC title, that he doesn't need that right now. He needs to fight Ilya Dragunov. He needs to wrestle several. I mean, there's other people that he can have a storyline with until he gets to the point of challenging for any title. And the fact of the matter is, he's such an impressive wrestler, and you built him up with so much momentum, and you wasted it in the one opportunity he had, or the first opportunity he had to win a title. He should have won the first chance he gets to win the title. He should have won it because he could establish that dominant character.
To me, it goes back to what you said. Like, if you're going to have him lose the IC title match clean, like one haluva kick after all this building up, why not give that title match to somebody else and have him go win the Money in the Bank and still be able to be built up over the next few
Right.
months and then cash in?
Because then at that point he can just wreak havoc and can't nobody really do anything about it because he can cash in.
But that brings
Right.
it
Yeah.
back to the question of if he won the Money in the Bank, and WWE has other plans for the world title, and he can't cash in. I think that would hurt him worse than losing to Sami Zayn, one of the top stars on Raw. You know?
Well, the only problem with that take is that the Money in the Bank is a year-long thing, so
Right,
it ain't got to be anything that's immediate. That storyline can progress. I mean, just look at a lot of the other past Money in the Bank winners that held on to the case for so long. They were involved in so many different storylines before they finally cashed in.
So
Hell, Rollins.
yeah,
Literally,
so,
technically, it could go all the way to the next Money in the Bank.
Yep.
right.
Say
so,
the
Yeah.
men's Money in the Bank would be the main event of that next year's show. You can cash in earlier that night.
Yep.
Like,
So just for clarification, y'all pretty much saying during this year time, y'all saying that Breaker can establish himself as a main eventer, as a world champion during this year time. And granted, I think he is. I'm in disagreement on the title thing. I think he's already ready for a title, maybe not a world title, but I think he's ready for a title. I think he's ready for the
and I do
Intercontinental or the
too,
United
but I'm
States,
saying
right.
my view is it makes no sense. If he's ready, why then have him lose clean? Just to, I don't see that being a thing. Like, again, if you're gonna have him lose, let it be a disqualification. Let it be
To
yes.
Let it be
Sami Zayn
something that
can-
gives him credibility.
to humble
Yeah.
him and to humble the audience. That's what it was. I mean, that's. I think honestly, again, this is just a theory in my brain. I think because the fans were so vocal about Sammy definitely losing, it was like we had a disqualification. We had a little renege of Sammy
Can't say
losing
that.
not clean. But y'all don't have faith in Sammy like y'all should
No,
be.
it's not
He
about
losing clean.
Sammy. It's not about Sam. See, if they wanted to progress a storyline with Braun, then they could have easily had Ilya Dragunov, who he has wrecked for weeks and weeks and weeks, come in and wreck that match for him, get him disqualified, have Sammy keep the title. It still makes Braun Breaker look really good, and then it would further that storyline to where you can take Braun out of the IC title picture, and now it furthers the storyline for him and Ilya Dragunov.
and possibly
And it
set
still
up,
makes
like,
everybody look good.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
But humbling the crowd is baffling to me because I don't know why you would want to humble your fans.
Because
I'm with you there.
we spent so much time building up Sami Zayn to be as big as he is, and then the fans immediately switched up and said Sammy ain't that good to beat Braun Breaker. Sammy's definitely losing to Braun Breaker. Yeah,
It's not
Yeah.
that he's not that good. It's that you're building Braun up while you've kind of put Sammy with the IC title at a stalemate.
Yeah. I mean, you positioned Braun as this current day Goldberg who I'm gonna walk in there, I'm gonna spear you, I'm gonna roll out with a dub. And for him
Good.
to not only lose clean, but I think he hit Sammy with 3 spears in that match, and it only took one finisher for him to lose.
Yeah, Sammy was Brock for some reason.
Yeah, it
Dude,
doesn't make sense. It devalues Breaker as a character. It devalues Breaker's moveset. And I don't think that when you're trying to build new stars at a point in WWE where your people like Roman and Seth are on the back end of their careers, I don't think hurting your new stars is the way to go.
It goes back to your analogy you used earlier. Braun Breaker's the new toy.
Right. I'm not saying.
He is the shiny new, whatever you want to call him, your toy, entertainer, whatever. He is the new thing. And
He's the
people
next
love
big thing.
having new things.
Mhm.
And Sammy has been in the WWE for upwards of 10 years now. And he's always been treated like Daniel Bryan did before he ever won a world title. And I don't think Sammy's ever going to win a world title.
I don't either.
I think the IC or US Championship is going to be where his ceiling ends. But Braun Breaker's ceiling is a lot higher than that. Which is the only reason why I don't see why this decision was made.
To me,
I don't
it's-
again. And if you want to have Sammy beat him clean, god damn, at least have him hit more than one haluva kick to make it look like you actually did something to him.
And to me, the thing is, like, and it's not to say any discredit to Sammy. Sammy's not going to get overall hurt by a loss to Braun Breaker.
Right.
Right.
But a clean loss to Braun that quick made no sense. Like Hunter said with the one haluva kick. After taking 3 spears and a lot of demolition and destruction.
I don't think this loss hurts Breaker at all. At all. I don't see it. I don't see it hurting Breaker. Breaker
It
still.
hurts Breaker it hurts Breaker in a fan's perspective. I know WWE's still very high on Breaker, but
We know he's still getting it.
All right,
Right.
all right, so think about it then, right? All right, so I'm a transition to UFC just for a smidget, right? Look back at all of Braun Breaker's matches. He took little to no damage in almost all of his matches. That is the most damage we've seen Braun Breaker take ever in the main roster run, because he's had losses in NXT. I've seen him lose in NXT, right? So he has had very little damage in all of his matches. And then he goes up against Sami Zayn, one of the mainstays on Raw, one of the top talents on Raw, in a pay-per-view match, a main event match where Sami, he won at WrestleMania, the main event at WrestleMania. He knows that spotlight. He's there. He's got experience in it. He's
That
been
was
doing
not a
it.
main event.
The main event of WrestleMania, the him when he won
It-
when he won the
That wasn't the main
championships?
event match. That might have been a marquee match, but it wasn't a main event.
That was the main event
He's
night
talking
one, wasn't it?
about, when he won
No.
the top, when he won
The
the,
main
tag
event
titles,
night- The main event night one was Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman.
No, he's talking about 39.
39 for the tag titles against
For
the
the
Oh,
tag
39.
titles. Yeah, for the tag titles. Right?
But even that match was the same. I had the same issue with though, because you had the Usos hit so many freaking finishers on KO and Sammy. Sammy hit one haluva kick on Jay and won. It devalues people's moves. That's the one issue I
I
had.
thought it was more than one Hulu kick on that.
I think
No,
it was
I think
too.
it only-
I think it was more than one. I think it was a haluva kick, and then
And then he put him back up and ran over and
yeah.
came back with it.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna say this, and then we need to move on because we spent a lot
Yeah.
of time on this topic.
I mean,
I'd have
we
felt a lot better off if Sammy was going to beat him clean. He could have at least rolled him up or something to make it look like a shocking victory.
I will say y'all think we're using a lot of time, but we're only 27 minutes in.
Well, we still have a lot to talk about though.
Okay. Okay.
Which is where I will bring this next transition. 2025, the last time is now. I mean,
Oh,
wrestling
baby.
world shocked by the retirement of John Cena.
I,
These some
I,
weird
I mean,
so-
I'm not shocked at all.
yeah, I'm about to say that may be a hot take, but I'm not shocked at all. Honestly,
I'm not shocked about the retirement. I'm shocked about the announcement coming out of nowhere and the run going past WrestleMania. That's what's shocking me.
Okay, I am ecstatic. That's what I am. I'm not sad. I'm ecstatic because I'm like as a new fan. I started watching wrestling a couple years ago, so I only seen John Cena just a smidget. Of course, when I was a kid, when I used to watch, that counts, but that don't really count for me. You know what I'm saying? So for me, this is yay! I get to see John Cena for a full year. I'm not sad he's retiring because I haven't been seeing him. Now I get to see him for a full year.
You couldn't see him.
Exactly. That's how I feel about it.
It's definitely sad for me. I mean, Cena was and will always be my favorite of all time. I mean, I'm not even about to hide emotion on that. I am very sad about that. But I do think that going that full year run opens up a lot of potential dream matches and dream moments.
Yeah, yes.
To me,
Yes.
I don't think we're getting the Cena that we've gotten over the past few years where he comes in, puts over a talent, and then like
Yes.
I think
That's-
he comes back and he's like, no, I'm gonna show you why I'm the GOAT. Like,
Right.
Mm.
My biggest question surrounding the farewell tour.
will he win it for the 17th time?
Will he
Absolutely.
break the record?
Absolutely.
I hope so. I'm dreaming for it. I'm hoping so. It would cap off his career. Really, it would cap it off.
To me, so I saw somebody the other day talking about it where Cena beating Flair's record of 16 would then make him, which he already is able to go be an ambassador, but like it makes him, okay, I have that record now and I can go for the next 20 years and be that guy and be representative instead of just having to talk about Flair, who's probably dying within the next 5 years. I hope nothing bad on it.
Sorry, not sorry.
But like, yeah.
Here's
but
what I
like-
would love. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, like Cena can be that guy like he always has been.
Mhm. Here's
As opposed to like the Flair that bounces around from company to company just where he'll get a next paycheck. Like Cena is the most loyal.
Flair's like Snoop Dogg at this point. Let's just be
I
real.
want
Flair's like
I want to
Snoop
hear from
Dogg.
Hunter.
Flair's like Snoop Dogg.
Oh man, I'll be honest. Oh, Hunter. Okay.
I want to hear from Hunter.
Okay. Yeah, you ain't
Would
been
you-
saying much.
I don't even know what I can say after some stupidity said like that. Ric Flair is like Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg is everywhere, bro.
He's
Snoop
just
Dogg
getting a
is
paycheck,
everywhere.
dude. He's just getting a paycheck.
Ric Flair ain't everywhere right now.
Well, right. Well, at this current moment, yes. But Ric Flair used to be everywhere, bro. Ric Flair used to be everywhere. He ain't care.
I
Ric Flair
agree.
drip.
But
He was
to
Woo!
compare him to Snoop Dogg, one is that's a crime.
I
One to both of them. To both of them.
All right, so
Because Snoop
let
Dogg,
me be clear.
Snoop Dogg
Let me
is
be
a
clear.
Snoop Dogg is one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Let me be
And
clear.
Ric Flair is a great wrestler, but nah.
Let me
Ric
be
Flair
clear.
ain't got shit on Snoop Dogg. I'm
Let
sorry.
me be clear. I am talking about in only the aspect of Ric Flair and Snoop Dogg are everywhere. Okay.
Okay.
Can
Well,
I-
they
I-
have
I-
nothing to do with what this segment is. This segment is
Hey,
about John
Can I
Cena.
just say,
We're talking about
hold on,
Cena.
hold on. Before we transition off the Snoop Dogg and Ric Flair comparison, I would love to see Ric Flair crip walk. That's all.
Yes, yes.
That man would break his
second
ankles.
That. I second that.
Cheers,
Man would
Bud.
break
Oh,
his
that'd be
ankles.
lovely. That would be lovely.
All right, but
I mean,
Well-
I'm not like necessarily sad that John Cena is going to retire. I mean, obviously, I grew up watching him and all that good stuff. I thought growing up that he really only had 5 moves, which
5
he
moves a
really
dude.
kind of made into something. But
Yeah.
I always seem to like guys like Edge and Randy Orton more that had a little bit of edge to their character. But
no pun intended. No.
I do think that him coming back for this year is going to be a waste if you don't make him a 17-time champion.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I don't know who you would have him take it off of, because you don't want to take it off of Cody.
So,
You
I-
you don't want to. He's got a lot going on with the bloodline. I guess you could. He would fit more into the World Heavyweight Championship picture to me than he would factor into the WWE Championship.
So to that point, because that was my initial thought process. The only way I see him entering the WWE Championship story is we know at some point we're getting Cody versus Randy. I mean, that story has to happen. If you have Randy take the title off Cody, then you have a clear direction to have Cena take it off Orton.
Mm.
My thing on that
Ooh.
is if you give Cena that record, if you let him win for the 17th time, I think that's his last match. He wins it and
That's
vacates
stupid.
it.
I am
That's
kind of
nah.
on the opposite end. I would like for it to be Cena wins his 17th, and to end
Yeah.
his run, it is him versus Randy Orton, and Randy Orton winning, and getting adding one more to his record, so he can boost his possible record-breaking run.
my prediction has been, and what I've seen a lot of people say online as well, is the storyline between Randy and Cody is absolutely happening. We know it. They're already teasing it right now. It's going. I see Randy winning it off of Cody, which would put him at 15.
Mhm.
Cena taking it off of Randy, John Cena breaking the record, and Orton taking it back off of Cena, which would tie Randy with Flair at 16.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. But
And then
I kind of don't see, depending on how long they take for Randy to take it off of Cody, I don't see Cody losing to Randy. That is my
This
issue.
this is what
Cody
needs to
losing
happen.
Randy. I see Cody losing to Randy, and that's starting the wheels turning for a heel turn for Cody.
This
We
is
haven't
what
seen
needs
it.
to happen. Let me tell you what needs to happen.
Go ahead, Hunter.
Okay, so if you remember, prior to Punk getting hurt, the original plan was for him to main event WrestleMania, and by all accounts, everybody is pretty much of the same opinion that he was going to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
Off of Rollins, yeah.
And he has already said that he would like to have another match with John Cena. So if you can progress, if you can get rid of this Drew McIntyre, so this goes back to if Drew had won the championship, then that would lead you into Punk can take it off of him at some point, which then you could turn around and main event next year's WrestleMania, or it could be on the card somewhere, maybe main event night 1 of John Cena and CM Punk for the last time. And then Cena can take it off of Punk, winning his 17th world title. And then that takes care of him winning it. And then you can have a young guy that he can give the rub to before he leaves. Maybe someone like a Braun Breaker who maybe doesn't have a world title or any title to his name at that
Austin
point.
Theory.
Do we? Okay, hold on.
You're stupid. No.
This is a crazy theory. Is there so like you said, Braun Breaker had clean loss for his first title match, right?
Mhm.
Does somehow Gunther lose at SummerSlam, right? Which that leaves Damian still with the title. He somehow gets added, and this is just me speculating shit. But we've already got Seth intertwined with Drew and Punk right now.
Mhm.
Damian just talked Monday about wanting to run it back with Seth.
Mhm.
Sets up maybe Fatal 4-Way or something somehow, or it gets the title on Punk to then set up with or not Punk, Seth Rollins,
Right.
and then that leaves Punk and all that.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say or earlier, but I never got to it. Was everybody's so up in arms that Gunther's going to win at SummerSlam? But if that was going to be the case, that very, very few amount of times in WWE's history have they made mention of running it back, and then that champion lose at the next pay-per-view to make it to where they can't. Because if
Well,
we're
then
being
that-
honest, Priest is good, but without the World Heavyweight Championship, a feud between him and McIntyre or Punk or whoever is not going to mean very much. He's a good talent, but he hasn't built up enough of that prestige in his character to where he doesn't need the title as much as someone like a Punk.
Well, see, what I was getting at was like, so you were talking about Cena then bringing the title to a newer superstar. Not newer. Gunther's not newer.
Yeah,
but then
towards the
could
end of
Gunther be
next
the
year.
one? Could Gunther be the one to then take it off of Cena?
So, any young talent that could really benefit from it. I said Braun Breaker because I just personally think that he has the high ceiling out of any of the younger crowd right now. I think Gunther would be a great one, but I think he's subject to be a champion quicker than maybe a year down the line from now.
And we
I
say
think
champion, you
a
mean
very-
world champion, right?
Well, either title. I mean, Gunther's really good. He's very talented, and to me, I think he's entertaining. I like he's got that old style of wrestling that a lot of
Smash
people, that very smash mouth style of wrestling. And
It's
I
very
just don't
reminiscent of like
think,
Arn Anderson.
I don't see it taking a year for him to be able to win a title.
Mhm.
But I mean, I think he certainly, Braun Breaker,
Carmelo.
I think he was on the tip of my tongue, but I'd like to see a little bit more from him just because of his size. I want to see how they're gonna mix it up with him and some of the bigger guys. I think he's got a lot of talent, definitely. But
I think
he's
Carmelo
maybe
Hayes will hold a U.S. title before he holds any world.
Yeah,
the biggest thing for me is I think if we're gonna rank the younger, because Gunther's really not young, but if we're gonna rank the younger talents that haven't won a world title, then I think Gunther's probably your number one.
Gotta be.
And then
I have to agree.
I think Braun's probably a number two. Or if he's not number two, he's number three. I'm trying to think of a few people that you might could argue in front of him, but I just can't think of a lot of people who've been pushed, like that.
And speaking on Braun and Gunther, and I've talked with Chandler about this. That's a match I want to see headline of Mania. I mean, I think those two against each other for the world title, that tears the house down.
Yeah, and I don't know if y'all know, but Mello and Breaker, they were main event stays in NXT. They tore the house down. Be looking out for that rivalry, because that's gonna be a rivalry like continuing years down the line.
Let me make sure I don't have this taken out of context. I think Carmelo Hayes is amazing.
Yes.
Truthfully.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just think I'd like to see he's faced Braun Breaker, and I watched that feud. It was really good, and I mean it. Carmelo Hayes is really good, but when you start talking about his size compared to, I mean, Breaker's huge compared to him.
Mm-hmm.
He in
I don't
height
think they
and
know
in
what to do
muscular.
with Carmelo right now.
That's my thing is the way they're pushing Carmelo is it's not a lot to it. Who's he
I think
feuding with right now? I
nobody.
saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was wrestling Randy or something a week or so ago.
I
wasn't he?
wrestled Randy to get into the Money in the Bank match.
Mm-hmm.
I think. No.
Yeah, it was no
It was some
King of the Ring.
maybe King of the Ring.
King of the Ring.
King of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kind of teased an LA Knight feud because of the U.S. title situation going on.
Which I think is the best outcome. You have LA Knight take the title off of Paul at SummerSlam. Thank God. And
I don't know. I think Logan Paul versus Carmelo at some point would be really good.
I mean, it would be cool.
It would.
But
Highlight reel for the ages.
you
Yeah.
take that feud and you go Knight and Hayes, and I think you got a good story there.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but that's my
Mhm.
thing with Carmelo is he's someone who could believably and did win the NXT title, but my only concern is the reality of him being able to win a world title with his size.
Yeah.
WWE has not been known to push, guys who are shorter and more athletic because Ricochet would have been a great world champion with all the crazy stuff that he could do.
That
The
depends
only
on
thing-
Melo. That depends on Melo, to be fair, because it is all about how you break your opponent down in the ring, especially if they're way bigger than you. It is how you portray your character in the ring, your moveset in the ring, and how you break down a big person. You have to make it believable in your moveset that these moves can break down this big opponent. So what
It has
moves
to
do I
be-
need to use to break him down? Because I can't bowl through him. That's impossible. I have to chop
Well, the
him
thing-
down. Chop him down. Chop
Well,
him
it
down.
has to be a quality big man too. It can't be Omos.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're right. You're right because Omos won't be believable. He's too big. He is too big. And,
Here's my
and,
thing.
and that's Omos's issue right now.
And he's too trash.
I disagree about trash.
Hold on. We're kind of running off.
Yeah,
right
we
now.
are.
Let's
We
go
are.
get
We
the
are.
words,
We are. We are. Oh snap. Yo, but I do want to even if they're gone, it's fine. I still want to just at least mention this because I know we I don't think we're gonna get to it, but about the Priest and Gunther. Honestly, to your point, it could kind of be just like the Sami Zayn Braun Breaker thing because everybody thinks Gunther's gonna win, and they're not having faith in Damian Priest, and Damian Priest has proven himself too. So
I don't recall them doing anything with Gunther in the last several weeks. I don't remember seeing him on TV like that.
yeah, he really
If he has been, then whatever he did was not very memorable.
yeah. So he's been on TV in promos. He was out for a couple weeks, I think, but he was in there for promos. But as far as matches, he hasn't been in a match in a minute. The last match he was in was to qualify for winning the King of the Ring. I think that was his last match. Was winning the King of the Ring. So who knows? Damian Priest could win at SummerSlam. That'll be lit though. If Damian Priest beat Gunther, that'll be lit.
What I was getting at a while ago, though, was with what I was getting at earlier with the Carmelo Hayes stuff is like, isn't his main finisher the nothing but net move, which is him doing the leg drop off the top rope onto the person like Cena used to do? That's how he chops people down. His moveset is going to be like Mysterio pretty much, where he's using his speed and his agility, and like you said, the Ricochet, he's going to have to just be quicker than these bigger men.
Yeah, he's sorry, but he's gonna have to be better than Ricochet. Like it just is what it is. Melo's promo game on point. His in-ring style on point. But again, the only thing that's gonna keep him for the world champion is the consistency of is just knowing how to chop people down. And I agree, he knows how to do it. I don't think he doesn't know how to do it. I think he's gonna be good. A couple years time, he may be world champion. I have faith in Melo, cause he's him. Melo is him.
just is what it is.
My concern is he's gonna have to get his fan base up. Like,
100%.
because right now on the main roster it's not.
Yeah, because and I miss Mellow. I miss those chants. I need to start hearing them. So we could talk about the formation of the faction with Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Sonya Deville. I'm excited. I have been a fan of all three of these for a while. I haven't seen Sonya Deville, to be fair. I just heard she was some badass, but before the whole crazy personal situation, right? And then after that, they didn't really showcase her that much. After she did the
Well, she's
position and
been
this, that, and the other,
injured.
right?
She's had a couple like ACL injuries and stuff.
Right. That too. Then of course she got injured, right? But in the little bit I have seen, I can tell 100% she knows exactly what she's doing in the ring. And I never understood why they didn't push her. I just never understood it, right? But now, Shayna Baszler, the baddest woman in WWE, taking out Ronda Rousey. Then we got Zoe Stark, the new up-and-comer, going crazy, making her name known in the Money in the Bank. Like, when she first entered the Money in the Bank match, she was not getting that many cheers. Let's just be real, right? But during the match and after the match, everybody was going crazy for her. And it was great. And that is what I'm happy about, right? So all three of them
I'm gonna be honest,
combining.
I can give a shit
into
less about
one.
Zoe Stark.
Okay, so here I want to go ahead and comment on Zoe Stark because a lot of these, it's like you said, like Sonya Deville was not showcased well. The last we had really seen of Sonya Deville, where she was doing in ring work, the best of her career so far was when she was partnered up with Mandy Rose. And then they put her into like a manager of SmackDown role or something, if I'm not mistaken. But when it comes to Zoe Stark, again, it's been booking. It's been like they paired her up, what was it, last year with Trish Stratus as like a super fan or something, and like respecting Trish Stratus as the GOAT, whatever. Cool.
She's
back to Shayna Baszler as well. Go ahead.
I was about to say, character-wise, I wouldn't say super fan. I would more so put it as, hey, listen, I have this veteran willing to teach me. I need to listen to her. I wouldn't say super fan. I would character-wise.
I wouldn't say Trish Stratus is the GOAT.
That's why I said veteran.
By no means.
That's why
what
I said
I'm
veteran.
saying though is the whole storyline was she came out with the "Thank You Trish" shirt on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with the super fan part.
Yeah. I wouldn't say super fan. That's just respect for a legend that is teaching her. Of course, she has to like schmooze up a little bit, but super fan, I don't think a super fan is not something that I see in the mindset of Zoe Stark's character, if that makes sense. And that's why.
Anyway, so getting back to the booking, it's the same thing with Shayna. Vince was not a fan of Shayna. In NXT, Shayna was the top female. Like, literally had a whole elimination chamber match that she ran through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I heard. Yeah,
every single person she eliminated. And so I think Triple H has always been high on her. He just hasn't had the full power, and now he's like, okay. He's had her partnered up with Zoe for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, they have. They've been tag teams.
And so then to add a third, again, pretty dominant female wrestler in Sonya Deville, who's finally healthy, and you can give all three of them a direction.
Bro,
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yo, the memes online going crazy. I'm not gonna say them on here because that's slightly could be offensive. Could be offensive.
2020.
And we care about that.
But I am excited. I think all three of all I can really think of is the female version of the Shield. That's the very first thing I thought. Because I know they're gonna go roughshod on everybody, and I'm excited.
I do want to know what they're gonna be called.
Me too.
I want to know the name.
Me too.
I'm excited because these internet sleuths, I need them to stop. I need them to stop. Oh man, it's so great. Oh man, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for them. I can't wait to see what they can do. It's
I'm
gonna
not.
be great. It's gonna be great.
I'm not excited at all.
Ooh, why not? Well, yeah. Now that we have an opposite opinion, why not?
Because none of them have done shit in the last 2 years.
Mhm.
Shayna Baszler has not done shit since she beat Ronda Rousey. Zoe Starks hasn't done shit since she beat Trish. And Sonya Deville has done nothing in like 3 years.
So do you
I
think
want them to make me excited, but I'm not going to get excited over a new faction being made without there being some proof as to why I should be excited about it.
I agree.
That's fair. Yeah, I like that. I understand that, and I like that.
And that's
Like
like I said
you-
at the beginning. I care less about it.
Like when
For me-
Evolution got back together a few years ago, not excited at all.
Well, that's
Because-
to me. That's because they were all old at that point. Like it was
Right, exactly. But it's the same thing but different because these people haven't done anything. None of them have done anything really.
For me, what it excites me about is like, so in the like when you're watching an interview backstage, if you pay attention to what's going on behind them as well, you'll see conversations between Drew and Rhea many months ago. You'll see Chad Gable talking to the Creed brothers. You'll see like Sonya Deville recruiting these women, and like if you, it's kind of like, okay, now I have to pay attention to what's going on even in the background to see what they're setting up. And so it's not just it's a random conversation that they decided to have over there. Cool, like it's leading to something.
I think the biggest thing they can do to get me excited about this faction is if they start asserting themselves in whether it be backstage segments, interrupting the match and just beating the dog crap out of somebody. Do something that makes people go, whoa. Yeah, let me see what this is going to be next. Like that's been the biggest thing with Braun Breaker. I mean, I know we keep going back to Braun, but that was his biggest thing. He showed up and then he just started tearing people up, regardless of who it was.
That is what they did, though. I mean, they interrupted the whole Damage Control, which Damage Control is having beefed themselves a little bit. But
yeah,
the reason
I wish they had chose someone else. I guess is what I'm getting at.
Like you said,
Because they've already got problems. Yeah, because like you said, Damage Control's already got problems.
Yeah. And
could it lead to Dakota jumping ship?
Yeah. There you go.
I hope not. I really hope not, because so here's my thing. With Damage Control, I like them, but when they are together and being dominant, I don't feel the aura of dominance. I feel from Dakota Kai and Io that they are dangerous. They are somebody to watch out for. But of course, I know Asuka's past. But when I look at Asuka, when I look at Kairi Sane, they don't
feel like
feel
Damage
like
Control was a lot better with Bayley.
Yeah, they don't feel dominant.
Yeah.
And with this new faction, I feel like they're going to be dominant. That's why I'm excited. Because I feel the aura. They have that aura of like, hey, we're gonna f you up. And now that we're all together, all on the same page, individually, right now, maybe we're not where we need to be. But together, we can go through everybody.
Well, see, here's my thing. Like, I'll speak on Shayna. She's someone who, again, I think could be really good because she's got that MMA background. It's very believable that she would fuck someone up.
Yes.
Honestly. Zoe Starks is a high flyer, and she's very athletic and talented, but she has not done anything. And
she's got a good
Deville, right. But Sonya
me,
Deville hasn't done anything in 3 years, which is why I'm concerned about everything being put together, which is why I'm not all that excited about it.
The problem with not Sonya, but Zoe and Shayna is they're not good promos.
Right.
And that's why they haven't been able to have these huge, like, be the top females on the main roster, because, like, Zoe's 2 years into WWE, maybe 3 at this point. I don't know. But like,
roster. Yeah.
Yeah, and so And Shayna's well established in the ring. We know she can put a beating on somebody, but again, she can't convince me on the microphone. As we now know what Sonya can do when it comes to literally just being a backstage. Hey, like I'm making this, I'm doing this, I'm making all these decisions and controlling the show. She can talk. She doesn't struggle with it. And then to quote or go back to Hunter, you talking about the direction. I think the reason that Damage Control is their first direction is because of literally Io putting Zoe through the ladder at the Money in the Bank match. Like that was like, okay, that's what you're gonna do. We coming for you now.
Yeah, because you put me through this ladder, you cost me the Money in the Bank that should have been mine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree. I think that Damage Control was really good last year. I think all I'm saying is I feel like if they had chose, I don't even know who else necessarily, but I feel like they could have chose a more meaningful target, I guess is what I'm getting at. To make me be like, oh, okay. If that makes sense.
I feel like a singular target would have been better than going after the group. I mean, if you come in and you cost someone like a Rhea or a Becky or a Charlotte a big name at a big moment, I feel like that puts the world on notice more than just attacking a group that, to Hunter's point, is already starting to flounder a little bit. I mean,
so it's kind of like, what's that team? With Karrion Kross and AOP. Like Final Testament. When they first came in, they destroyed the Street Profits, I believe it was. Either the Street Profits or Kofi Kingston and them, right?
Yeah, because they were first one off after Bobby and the Street Profits.
Right. And they destroyed the team, but what happened after? Nothing.
But I mean, just think about the possibility of this storyline. Let's say that this faction decided to go after Bayley, regardless of Damage Control and all that stuff. Let's say they decided to go after Bayley. Charlotte and Becky have been off for now. You could bring back it wouldn't be the 4 horsewomen because Sasha's not there. But you see where I'm getting at?
Yeah, I had an epiphany though. So yeah, just let me know when I can go. I had an epiphany about the mindset of the new faction, right? So we have this team, Damage Control, that's been saying that they run SmackDown. No, not SmackDown. Was it SmackDown or Raw? I can't remember. SmackDown. No, Raw.
It don't matter because they ain't running shit.
Right. Yeah, but anyway, but you understand. We have this faction that they're saying they're the most dominant one in WWE, and the Io was just world champion, and the Kabuki Warriors were just tag team champions. We have this faction that's yada 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 saying blah 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 blase blase blase. Why not attack this group that is saying they are the dominant ones? So this group knows that we are the dominant ones. And they can't say that no more. Exactly. They are lying to themselves, saying that they're the dominant ones. We are the dominant ones. Y'all aren't the dominant ones. And also putting the whole locker room on notice at the same time. That's kind of how I'm rationalizing in my brain.
But see, a lot of people are talk. That's all Damage Control is right now. They have nothing to back it up.
Right, exactly. And that's the mindset of this new faction. Y'all don't have anything to back it up. Look at us.
We have 10 minutes, just so y'all know.
All right, bet. Look at us. You know what I'm saying?
Let's transition.
All right, let's go.
Let's do a quick recap and hit the outro.
All right, not recap yet because we haven't talked about kind of the most important one at this current moment.
I just got to be honest. I feel like this has been a clusterfuck of a first podcast.
Yeah, we've been having technical issues and stuff. Actually,
not even just that. We haven't really followed I feel like we've been jumping around a lot.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah,
kind of, sort of. Yeah. But we haven't. Well, actually, 2 things we haven't talked about: the Bloodline. And then Randy and Cody.
I don't think we need to talk about Randy and Cody until it becomes more of a storyline than it is.
I agree.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Also,
I just like how they're teasing it.
Oh, I mean, I agree, but I think we've got 9 minutes and 30 seconds, and we need to focus on the bloodline for 5 minutes and call it.
All right,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
With the bloodline, I'll say this. I think, and I feel like I might be in the minority here. I feel like they're doing the best they can. You've got a story that for the better part of 3 years has been the Roman Reigns story, and out of nowhere, Solo has had to take it and run. And while yes, I feel like he's dropped the ball a few times,
I feel like he's looked
done
like crap.
I feel like he's done the best with what he had to work with, and I feel like since all the new members have now been here and been established, with the exception of Tongaloa, I feel like there is some good momentum. My fear though, and he's a high seller for this, that Jacob Fatu is way overshadowing Solo Sikoa at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna rewind just a little bit.
My issue with the whole bloodline story is that they gave Solo Sikoa a microphone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. He's ruining it. I'm sorry. He is, and I get you had to do what you had to do with Paul Heyman, because I get that part, but he is just not good on the microphone right now. He hadn't been talking at all, when Roman was there, and he's just not it on the microphone.
To me, it kind of, again, they're struggling with Solo in the way of like, he never mentioned he had beef with Roman until he put Heyman through the table, right? He had mentioned to Heyman that, hey, Roman's not coming back. But then once he put Heyman through the table, was it the next week that he then had that little backstage segment or wherever they were? And he was like, I'm taking the title from Cody. And then if Roman wants it, he's going to have to take it from me. That seemed random to me when it hadn't been established yet.
So to that point right there, Solo said Roman's not coming back. And when Heyman asked, what do you mean Roman's not coming back? We did not get an answer. We have no idea what happened behind the scenes. Zilch.
That's my thing with Solo, is he's good backstage. Because that whole, what you were just talking about, that whole promo was really good.
Yeah.
But it's like when he gets in the ring with the microphone is where I start to see issues.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like he lets the crowd get to him. And then it doesn't know how to maneuver around the crowd chanting whatever it's going to chant.
Okay.
It's honestly very reminiscent of like 2017 Roman. I mean, Roman was not, I mean, Cena even called him out on it and said, if you want to be this guy, you've got to learn to do a promo. And I feel like Solo needs to take some time off, go back to the promo room. Like
I mean, I can't say it's that bad though. I can't say it's that bad. I don't think, because Solo has had decent promos. I haven't seen it to where I'm like, ugh, and I've seen promos like I don't. All right, I got you.
Yeah, we all seen that Omos promo.
We've seen bad promos. We've seen bad promos, and by no means I can't justify saying Solo should go back into the lab and take some time off and work on his promos. I can't say that.
The reason I say that is because they're positioning him as a top player in the game, and if you're gonna flounder in the mid card division, then that's fine. But if you're gonna be someone that the company wants to put pressure on, you've got to be able to deal with it. And to me, Solo is the weakest part of the Bloodline story right now.
But we know that Solo is really the one. Hold on. We know that Solo is not the actual one in this storyline calling the shots. So we don't have to believe him to be the top guy. The Rock is behind all of this.
We'll see.
It's what it's building.
We'll
see.
Because I do have that in my head too. I do have that in the back of my brain too. We will see. But I feel like we're kind of discrediting Solo just a little bit, man. Like, because
I'm not discrediting his ring work. I'm discrediting his mic skills.
All right, because like think about the character of Solo Sikoa. Think about the situation he has been put in. He was only the enforcer of the bloodline, but because he was so
He was the
good,
Tonga.
right? Yeah, because he was so good, he got nominated as the next head of the table.
No,
He
he
was
did
the
not. He
troublemaker.
took it.
Well, I mean, Roman said he was to be the next head of the table after him. Roman said that out of Roman's mouth.
After Jay left, 'cause originally it was Jay.
Yeah, and again, it could be just Roman manipulation tactics, right? Could be just Roman manipulation tactics, right? But Solo has taken that to the head, right? He has to come into this world of professional wrestling, of being the tribal chief, out of nowhere, presumptively, right? And now he has all this pressure on him. He is not broken yet. He has all this pressure. He is not broken. Matter of fact, he is low key trying his best.
He
to
breaks every time
thrive.
he's in the ring with a microphone.
To thrive. He breaks. What do you mean? Yes. So that right there, I'm gonna classify as acting. He is saying, "What the f- is wrong with this crowd? Why y'all not? I'm the tribal chief. I understand y'all miss Roman, but I'm the tribal chief. Listen to me now. Y'all have to. I'm the tribal. Y'all have to listen to me. Acknowledge me. And y'all aren't
All
doing
right,
it.
guys.
Why aren't y'all doing it?
So here's what I'll say. We could talk about the bloodline for whole episodes, but I think we're getting down to the end of this first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
We got 2 minutes.
we have. What'd you say?
2 minutes.
We got 2
Yeah.
minutes.
So we have all the time in the world, considering the next few weeks. The last thing I'll say on the bloodline is, like, the other night we were talking about, like, it was getting stale to me because it's the same week every week. We're attacking Cody this week. We're attacking Randy this week. Next week when Kevin's back from his family stuff, we'll attack Kevin. So I think that's what has helped Solo is not speaking. He's just going out there and it's a beatdown, and then he's re-acknowledging himself and establishing himself as, all right, this is what
That's
it is
when he
now.
has been his best. That
Because
is when he has been his best.
I agree he
Yeah.
needs experience on it. I just disagree about it's so bad he needs to take some time off and go back to the lab. That is
Well,
what
I'm not going to
saying.
say that. I'm
That
not
is
going to
what
say
I'm
that
saying.
at all. What I'm saying is I think you did him a disservice by taking away Paul Heyman as the mouthpiece.
I
Understandable.
agree.
Understandable. But this will be the last thing I say about the bloodline.
Good, because you got 45 seconds.
Accept the reality that we are in. This is Solo Sikoa's bloodline now. Accept that reality. And until y'all do, everybody's getting rolled. That's all I got to say.
Well, let's end this thing.
All right. Thank you for listening to the very first podcast of your
Thank
Take
you.
Six.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will be back next week. Same time, same place, same great energy. We got a Hunter on the top. We got Chandler and Jacob. Chandler on the right, Jacob on the left with the wonderful, wonderful Toms. And then we have, of course, we have Zeus the Dragon. Last but not
Ollie.
least. Thank y'all guys. We'll see y'all next time.
Just remember, your take sucks.
Yes, yours do.
Yeah.